Gavin, I think this is your voicemail. This is Ryan Pasisz giving you a call back. If you can give me a call back real quick, I just wanted to make something clear, and if I'm on a voicemail, I'll make this even more clear. Patterson, dude, was not Amanda's pimp. She didn't have a pimp. She wasn't some Niagara Falls prostitute or Buffalo prostitute walking around the streets. That wasn't her. It's not what she did. Adam Patterson was a driver. She had a vehicle that Amanda did not have at the time. That's all he was. Literally all he was. Amanda used him. I just want to let you know that. Give me a call if you want. But just let it be known, on this thing, Amanda was not some fucking prostitute walking around with Adam as a pimp. He was no pimp. He was a pawn. He was a punk. He was a vehicle. That's all he ever was. Just letting it be known. Thanks, buddy.
I'm Gavin Fish. In today's episode, we're continuing Treated Like Trash, our investigation into the killing of 20-year-old Amanda Wienckowski. Now, what you just heard was a voicemail from Ryan Pasisz. Ryan was Amanda's boyfriend at the time she died. They'd been together a long time. He was in jail on a parole violation when Amanda went missing and when her body was later found. It shouldn't matter if Amanda was a drug addict and a prostitute or not. I mean, it shouldn't matter to the case. Every victim's death should be investigated. But I understand why Ryan would want to make it very clear that he doesn't believe the narrative that was put forward by Adam Patterson since the very beginning. That Amanda was a useless, junkie prostitute. Ryan knew her, and he loved her. And it hurts to have people saying that about someone you love. In our previous episode, we went over the basic facts of this case. Well, really, we went over the beginning of the basic facts of the case. Our plan today is to dig into the subject of today's episode, which is December 5th, 2008. That's the day Amanda went missing. Okay, the day is December 5th, 2008. According to two interviews that the New York State Police did with Adam Patterson, one on December 9th and the other on the 11th, at about 5 p.m., Adam arrived at his home to find out that Amanda had made plans to meet a guy in Buffalo. He said he thought the guy's name was Justice, and remember, Justice is a name Antoine Garner went by. She asked him for a ride, but he said no. Let's pause for a moment and talk about Adam and Amanda's living arrangement.
It was a convenience thing, and we had known Adam, so I didn't think too much of it because it was only going to be short-lived, maybe 4 to 6 weeks, and then Amanda was going to move in with her sister, Carol Lee. Her sister lived in Las Vegas, and she was moving home. So it was really short-lived, like a short period with Adam. She had school right down the street from Adam. That's where she was starting college in January. And then she also worked at Cocktail Bob's, was another 10 minutes down the other way. So it was really a convenience thing until her sister moved home and moved in that area.
My mom moved out to she remarried, and she moved out of her house where Amanda had lived. And Amanda wanted to stay in the area. She was going to end trip, and my oldest sister lived in Vegas, and she was moving back. So Amanda knew in January that Carolee would be back, and they were planning on getting an apartment together. Or a house, or moving in with Carolee, something like that. She was going to move in with Carolee. And, but she wanted to stay in Niagara County for school and work and everything until that. So there was like a few month interval until Carolee moved back from Vegas.
The first voice you just heard was Leslie Brill Meserole, Amanda's mom. The second was Amanda's sister, Danielle. The school that Danielle called N-Trip is actually NCCC, Niagara County Community College. Amanda had just enrolled in school, and she was trying to decide what to study. She wanted to either go into nursing like her older sister, Carol Lee, or into law enforcement. So living with Adam was a solution to a short-term problem. She just needed a place to stay for a few weeks until Carol Lee moved back from Las Vegas. And Adam confirms this, sort of, in his written statement to New York State Police in an interview that he did on December 9th. She needed a place to stay because her mother was moving to Tonawanda. She didn't want to move to Tonawanda because she wanted to stay close to her sister Danielle. I told her she could stay with me, but I wish I never did. Her staying with me has caused all sorts of problems. Amanda had been living with me since the beginning of November. She eventually moved in 2 truckloads of her stuff. There's something I want to unpack in this statement, and I know it's kind of a tangent, but it's important. Adam made this statement on December 9th. He was already talking about her in the past tense. Amanda had been living with me rather than Amanda has been living with me. And I don't think I'm being paranoid here because in the second sentence of his first written statement, again to the New York State Police, Adam wrote, she was bartending there, talking about a bar called Cocktail Bob's. But then he crossed out the word was and the ing off of bartending, and that changed the sentence to read, she is a bartender there. So why was Adam speaking about Amanda in the past tense on December 9th? Well, let's talk about how Adam said he met Amanda. In his December 9th interview, he says he'd only known Amanda for about 2 months and that they met at Cocktail Bob's. But on December 11th, he changed his story. In that interview, he said he'd met her the previous September when he claims he picked her up to pay her for sexual favors. From what I can tell, this is the beginning of the narrative that Ryan was talking about in the opening of this episode. Adam claimed Amanda was a prostitute. But is that how he met her?
My ex-husband went to school with Adam Patterson. She met him at my house.
I honestly don't know exactly when they met, but Adam came to our house. Like, he used to come to our house when we lived on Whitmer Road, my parents' house, because John Midzinski, which is Mercedes and Alyssa, our 2 younger sisters' father, my mom's ex-husband of 15 years, grew up with him in Niagara Wheatfield. They went to school together. They got in some trouble after when John got out of the Marines or the Navy, whatever he was in, and actually got arrested together. And they continued to smoke weed. So I know that they used to, like, you know what I mean, smoke together or get their stuff together. Like, he was still around. Like, we seen him on multiple occasions at the house, like just meeting John in the driveway and like taking off or whatever.
Okay, so let's get back to where we were. It's December 5th. It's 5 p.m. Adam just arrived back home, and he says that Amanda asked him to give her a ride to Buffalo. And at first he declines, which I guess is understandable because where they were living, Justice's house was about 30 to 40 minutes away, depending on traffic and a couple other things. And then Amanda told Adam not to worry about it. She'd ask her sister for a ride. But, Adam said, he then changed his mind because Amanda and Danielle tended to get heroin together. He didn't want her to do that, apparently. How very paternal. So Adam drives Amanda to Justice's house. And this is according to his statement. His story goes like this, word for word. She told me how to get to his house. We took the I-180 to Clinton and Clinton to Spring Street. The house number was 157. She walked to the door, and when it opened, she went inside. Then I drove off. She was supposed to call me when she was ready. She left her purse in my truck because she said she would be right out. This was about 6 o'clock p.m. She texted me saying she needed more time. Then she texted me again saying that she would call in an hour. When she did call, she said pick me up at 7:35. I had already gotten a slice of pizza on Clinton Street, sat in a few parking lots, and then bought some lottery tickets at a gas station. I think it was a NOCO. I bought a $2 scratch-off and a Mega Million ticket. Then I tried to call her. The phone was off. I think I left her a message, but I can't be sure. I had been waiting outside the house since 7:30 p.m., and after about an hour I decided to leave. It was about 8:30 p.m. when I headed home. Let's take a look at the phone records. We're looking for Adam's and Amanda's phones on December 5th, 2008, between, let's say, 1 o'clock and 8:30 that night. So this is a spreadsheet I put together after looking at all the phone records as well as notes from Buffalo Police Detective Mary Evans. First off, Adam and Amanda were texting and calling each other all afternoon. Between 1:59 p.m. and 4:58 p.m., they texted or called each other 14 times. So I find it hard to believe that Adam came home at 5 o'clock and just found out of the blue, that Amanda had made plans to meet someone. They were talking all day, up until 2 minutes before 5. The next suspicious thing I see is a text from Adam to Amanda at 5:42 p.m. Now, if they were driving together trying to get to Antoine's house by 6 p.m., they would have left their house no later than 5:30 p.m. And it's actually a little more likely that they left earlier than that, right? So why did Adam text Amanda if they were driving together in the same car? Well, the most obvious answer to that question is they weren't in the same car. The next thing we see are 2 8-second calls from Amanda to Adam, one at 6:07 p.m. and one at 6:10 p.m. In his statement, Adam said that he received 2 text messages from Amanda saying that she needed more time. So there's a little inconsistency here, but I guess I'm okay with him remembering it as 2 texts instead of 2 8-second calls. But what's important, I think, here is that Adam establishes that by 6:07 p.m., Amanda was inside Antoine's house. Okay, then we see that Adam called Amanda 3 times, 6:38, 6:42, and 6:46. This seems completely consistent with his statement. Adam then receives a call from Amanda's phone at 6:51 p.m. This is likely the call that Adam references when he says she told him to pick her up at 7:35. Adam then calls her at 6:53 p.m., which she didn't pick up, and again at 7:46 p.m. She didn't pick that one up either. And that's the last call that either of them made to each other for the rest of the night. So the phone evidence suggests to me that Adam was telling the truth about some things. And I'm not saying that he was, just that the evidence suggests that he was about some things. That one thing really bothers me, though. They weren't even in the same place at 5:42 p.m. I mean, in Adam's scenario, he was driving his truck and Amanda was in the passenger seat right next to him, right? Why would he text her? Do you remember phones in 2008? They weren't really text-friendly, were they? iPhones were out, but they were very expensive, and most people in Amanda's circle were still using flip phones. Hers was an LG chocolate. I want to go back to the call that Adam received at 6:51 p.m. from Amanda, because something caught my attention while I was looking at the phone records. A few minutes before Amanda made that call, she made a call to a number she'd never dialed before. That call lasted 0 seconds. But then that number called her back, and that conversation lasted for 2 minutes and 23 seconds. And then, without hanging up, Amanda called Adam at 6:51. And when he picked up, he was now the third person of a conference call. The voice on the other end told him to pick her up at 7:35 p.m. But that voice wasn't Amanda's. She was already dead. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below.